got concerns over national interest at the airports, Deputy Prime Minister. There's a new terror alert. What are you able to tell us about that?
Well, I think the first thing is that this government, any government around the world, our first duty is to keep people safe. And what you've got to remember is that there are individuals and groups, terrorist groups, violent extremist groups around the world who want to do us harm. They are constantly thinking, how can we do damage? How can we inflict violence? How can we maim and kill people in the United States, the United Kingdom and elsewhere? We know that. The thing is, they're constantly trying to think of new ways to do that. So we need to constantly think of new ways to keep ourselves safe. And that, in a nutshell, is what this is about, is that, a decision has been arrived at that we need to adjust, tighten up the checks at airports. This involves a whole range of different countries in order to make sure that our defences keep up, if you like, with the changing methods that these groups are exploring.
And in practical terms, what does it mean for passengers, people arriving at airports later today or through the week?
Well, I don't think I should start...
presumably longer times,
well,
more checks.
We don't think the majority of travellers going on holiday, going elsewhere for business, are going to be unduly disrupted.
So it's just US we're looking at?
It's certainly a lot of the original announcements, as you know, came from the US. And this involves a whole range of countries, so we're not just alone in this. And it will involve extra checks of various descriptions. The checks that we have in terms of passengers who go on aeroplanes, how they're scrutinised, how they're checked, is, in the jargon, it's sort of multi-layered. And so there's going to be another layer for some travellers on some flights. That's kind of what it is in a nutshell. I don't think people should be unduly panicked or concerned, but this is the world we now live in. This won't be the last time that there are further adjustments made, because we're having to constantly evolve our own defences in view of the evolving way in which people want to attack us.
And lastly, this is in place for days, weeks, months, forever. How long?
Oh, I think I don't think we should expect this to be just a sort of one-off temporary thing. We have to make sure that the checks are there to meet the nature of the new kinds of threats.
So forever.
Well, whether it's forever, I can't make any predictions forever. But I don't want people to think that this is just a sort of blip for a week. This is part of an evolving and constant review about whether the checks we have in our airports, and indeed in other places of entry and exit from countries, keeps up with the kind of what we know from intelligence and all other sources, what we know about the nature of the threats that we face.